Don't give up. Don't give up is the easiest and hardest saying at the same time. Whenever something hits you or you face an obstacle, you have only two options. Either you give up or you don't give up. There's no third to it. My father framed a letter I wrote when I was 7 years old, I guess, about a pony I rode by the beach in Hurghada. And in that letter, I expressed how much I wanted to ride and become a professional rider. At this point exactly, my father noticed how important horses are to me, and that later on, I wanted them to become my life. It is a very, very expensive sport, and I could invest all I have, then I can just lose it in 1 minute. But that's not a good enough reason to make me give up, pause, stop, or say that I won't go on because I have already invested a lot. No, I will go on. I traveled alone to Holland when I was 11 years old for the very first time. Of course, as soon as I reached, I wanted to come back. I didn't know the country, the language, or anyone there, but my father sent me anyway. Of course, it was a really hard time. I felt really homesick there, and there were no phones, no WhatsApp, no instant messaging like nowadays. I was completely hung out to dry. The day doesn't come to an end and couldn't have started any earlier. I stayed at the stable of an Olympic rider, Gerko Schroeder. I remember everything. I woke up at 5 a.m. to groom the horses, get them ready, and learn every single detail about the sport the hard way. By the time the sun sets, everything closed, everyone left, so I started thinking of something to do, just to get my head off the idea that I'm all alone. I started going to the horses at the stable, and I'd just sit there with my favorite stallion, Emilio. I remember, I would sit there, talk to the horse, and I'd cry. He became my only friend. Back then, when I was young, a really dear person to my heart told me a saying. He told me the champion is the one who stands up after falling, not the one that falls and doesn't get back up. The first big loss was in the World Cup qualifier in Germany. My parents were with me. They told me, "Do you want to come back with us to Cairo for a break?" I have already been there for weeks. I told them no. Tomorrow I have to train. My mom looked at me and said, "Why tomorrow?" I told her, because if I don't train, I'd be devastated. And I want to be devastated while training. In Syria, the World Cup qualifier, final competition, I made a mistake. I missed the distance and something went wrong. I fell, broke my arm in 2 pieces. It was bad, to the extent that the bones got fractured and dissolved, and they had to take parts of my hip bone to put my arm back together. And that was the real shock. Not because my arm was hanging loose, but I got a phone call, one that made my heart beat fast and got me running around the hospital helplessly. My mom was moved to the intensive care. She wasn't stable, and her situation was critical. The doctors told me I had to rest for 2 weeks after the surgery in Syria. Then stay 6 months without riding. So I told them okay, but 2 hours only, cause I'm leaving. I'm flying back to Cairo. The surgeon laughed. He thought I was joking, but then my friends told him, no, he is serious, and that I was really going back. I had already made one of my friends book a flight, and I just flew back home. One surgery in Syria wasn't good enough. I had to fly back to Cairo, then head to Germany to get 2 more operations done on my arm. And as if that wasn't enough, I got another devastating phone call in Germany. My mayor, my favorite mayor, the champion, the winner, had passed away. Then I said nothing. I was speechless. I went back to Cairo, and the doctors had told me that I need 6 months of rest. When I was back, only 10 days were left for the National Cup final. I practiced and wanted to get the negative energy out and let my rage out on something useful. So I competed. Then I won 2nd place in the A1 level with a non-functional arm. There's this thing, something we do. All riders, I guess, have done it when they were young. We would just set up fences in the club or our houses or anywhere. We would just jump them. Not with the horses, we would actually jump the fences ourselves. When I look at a horse, I see their personality. I know the character from just the way they look, their eyes, their gestures and reactions. And I know all about the horse in front of me. Horses are like humans, but they are only smarter. Katrina, I saw her. I just fell in love with her. I knew she was the one. Katrina is my friend. Katrina is my life. Katrina, I wake up in the morning just to see her. I just get that rush to go get her ready and explore the different magical world with her. She is one of a kind. I didn't give up, and I won't. I believe that there is always going to be more, and I will find more, and I will become more. The years are ahead of me, and ahead of you too. We shouldn't let the obstacles we face destroy us. No, we destroy them.